And that was Owen Temples with When I Hit San Antonio. You're listening to Mornings with Lone Star. Good morning, everybody. It is 8:12, Monday, March 24th, 2014. Good morning, Montgomery County. Welcome to Mornings with Lone Star. We got a great lineup today, all the way to 12 p.m. Today we got me all the way to 10. And then the Mark and Cindy show will be live. They're back. I think they got back in groove after being a week off with spring break. And then Rick will have Chad Patterson of the Executive Director of Montgomery County Emergency Assistance in the studio for the weekly business hour starting at 11 o'clock. But it's me right now, and I have a special guest in the studio. I have John Long. John Long, welcome to Mornings with Lone Star.
Thank you, Richard.
Pleasure
to be here.
Oh, yes. It always is a pleasure to be at Lone Star, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You are part of an interesting company called Mirrocle Frames. Now, I pronounced that correctly.
Correct,
right?
yeah.
Mirrocle Frames. Yeah. And what you guys do is it's kind of funny because it's one of those things as you grow up, you never really notice the details in houses. But when I'm talking to the audience now, when you go into a bathroom and you kind of notice something that makes it a little bit nicer, it feels a little bit more comfortable, and you're part of that feeling. Sure, absolutely. That's the way I see what your company does, Mirrocle Frames.
Well, that's a pretty good way of describing it. I've never heard it quite with that sort of spin, but I like that.
Well, no, really, because you know when you go into bathrooms and you feel like, man, something's kind of off. Like well, I guess if you look at a mirror and it doesn't have a frame, I feel like I'm in. I'm trying to think. What's the?
Well, it's a naked mirror.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. It feels naked when I go into the room.
Exactly. Well, we have another little tagline. What else is naked in your bathrooms? Sometimes it's a mirror. Not what you would think, but yeah. So.
And it really does. It does. So what your company does is Mirrocle Frames. Is you go in and like I say, I have a bathroom and I have a mounted mirror.
Right.
And it doesn't have a border. It doesn't have anything. It's just literally mounted.
Right.
And I've always wondered how they put up those mirrors anyway, because they're huge.
Yeah. Well, so there's traditionally framed mirrors have been built as one piece. And so if you already have a mirror, you're pretty much out of luck unless you want to rip up your bathroom, rip out your mirror, and buy something brand new. Usually costs a lot of money. And so basically what we do is we take all the remodeling out of getting a framed mirror, and we frame existing mirrors on the wall without tearing them out. We have a very unique process and a product that will install directly on top of the existing mirrors with no tear out at all, and give you the same look of a framed mirror. For a fraction of the cost of all that extra work, time, and then buying a new custom mirror. So
yeah, when it comes to construction and you use the word rip and tear, it's usually like, oh, we got to start from the ground up.
Exactly,
that's going to cost some money.
Exactly. So we take all of that construction aspect out of it, and then of course buying a new mirror out of it. I mean, because let's face it, you already have a mirror. And especially with all the green initiatives, people are all really conscious about, not wanting to throw things away that are perfectly good. And there's nothing wrong with a mirror other than the fact that the edge is kind of ugly, and we take care of that. Even the builder grade clips, so they, the little plastic clips that hold them on the wall, we cover those completely up. Can't see them anymore. It's a custom, beautiful framed mirror when we're done with it. So.
Yeah, like I said, though, it's when you go into a bathroom and you notice something's a little bit better. It might be the candle lit, it might be the clean toilet, but I think it adds a little bit more to the room. And I kind of want to know a little bit more about the process, because I know, like, to me, I'm a single guy. It seems kind of trivial to be like, oh, why do I need to frame my?
Yeah, you're not our customer, Richard. By the way.
Yes, But I know when it gets to that point when you're trying to, you're making your home, and you want to make it nice, especially the guest bathroom.
Right.
Because that's what the funniest thing is. A lot of people start with the guest bathroom and then they move into theirs because they figure people are going to be visiting.
Sure.
So I'm sitting here and I go into my restroom and I'm like, man, this mirror is just ugly. But then how...
The process.
So I find you guys, mirrocleframes.com. That's MIRROR, like mirror, and then CLE frames.com.
So basically, the process is pretty easy. I mean, you drop us a email through our website, or give us a call, 866-95-FRAME. One of our customer service team members will basically walk you through the process of getting started and scheduling a free in-home design consultation. And the way that works is we will schedule an appointed time for one of our design consultants to come out to take a look at your mirror, to show you some frame samples, to help you make a great decision on a frame, on picking a frame based on your design, your decor, your budget, that sort of thing. We'll take measurements at that time, and then we're going to build the frames off-site in our facility. That's important to know that we don't do any construction in your home. So there's no cutting, sawing, joining, no dust, no dirty work done in your house.
So you're telling me the installation's probably within a day?
It's within an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So by the time we get out, our turnaround time's usually a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. We stay pretty busy. But once we get back out, the frames are fully built, and it's a very quick, clean installation. Again, not a single sign of dust because there is no dust. Frames are built. They just very cleanly install on top of your mirror, and we're done. And people are amazed at the difference and the ease of the whole process.
Well, right when you said that, because I know when people are doing their house, that's always the running joke is you have these temporary live-ins because they're literally there all the time making noise.
Exactly. I do a lot of we basically our business is some new construction, some remodeling, and then some brand new existing homes, existing mirrors, and so if it's an existing home, it's pretty nice because they know that, hey, we're not going to be in there for days and drop cloths and all this. But when we're new construction or remodeling, I'm walking in on top of drop cloths and crews in and out, and there's dust everywhere, and the people are usually a little bit on edge, understandably so.
Yeah.
So they really like the fact that, hey, when we come in, we're in and out, and they're usually going, "Are you already done?" And we're done. It's that easy, and they're happy. I mean, it's a pretty sweet process. So,
and what I like about, like I said, is the subtle difference it makes.
Sure.
In the long run, it makes a huge difference for your guests, for you.
Sure.
And I know some people say surround yourself with things that make you feel better.
Right.
And like, oh, what color are the walls?
Right.
Well, this is just the same idea.
Sure.
That's the way I see it.
Absolutely.
So, y'all have a lot of variety of frames and things like that.
We do. We have a pretty extensive line, and it ranges everywhere from your traditional to the contemporary, your oil rub bronze to your brush nickel. We've got a frame to fit pretty much every style and budget.
I'm on your website right now. I'm just checking it out. You have a lot of.
We started the company about 6 years ago, and it came on the heels of actually my father, who spent about 27 years in the art and mirror business, and so this is in our blood. It's in our DNA. This type of design, and so a lot of times people look at it and they go, "Well, that's just a piece of trim or whatever." The word trim is somewhat offensive to us, but it's art.
Offensive, really?
Well, I'm kidding a little bit tongue in cheek there. But
all right, good. I was man, we got somebody who's really passionate
No,
about this.
this is the idea is that we turn your mirror into a true work of art, not just a piece of wooden trim. I mean, a trim carpenter could do that, but we take it one step further. So definitely.
Well, John, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking more. I'm going to get to know John a little bit more on a personal level because I know you guys do a lot of work up here in Montgomery County, and I want to get to know you a little better because if our listeners are interested, they probably want to know who you are.
Sure, absolutely.
So when we come
Sounds
back,
good.
We'll be talking to John Long of Mirrocle Frames. That's mirrocleframes.com. You can find them on Facebook, too, and they have a great website, especially showing you all the different types of frames. But we'll be right back on Mornings with Lone Star. Here's some Will Kimbrough, Horseshoe Lake. You're listening to Lone Star Internet Radio.
Hello, this is Dennis Nelson, inviting you to come with me through the doorway of imagination and into the theater of the mind. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour presents a play every Saturday night at 7 p.m. on Lone Star Internet Radio. Be it drama or comedy, thriller or love story, every exciting episode is carefully chosen straight from the golden age of radio and performed live by talented actors, musicians, and sound effects crew. Every sound you hear will be 100% live and homemade. Anything can happen. So join us, please, every Saturday night at 7 p.m. for the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour, right here on Lone Star Internet Radio.
Hi, this is Erica Tullis, Executive Director of the Breast Cancer Charities of America. The Breast Cancer Charities of America is a national nonprofit organization with our headquarters in the Woodlands, Texas. We focus on non-invasive breast cancer research and helping the true patient that is going through breast cancer. Through our Help Now Fund, we help women pay the rent and utilities while going through their breast cancer treatment. It's unlike any other program that truly is out there. We are here to help the woman. Our phone number is 936-231-8460. For more information or to get involved or to even make a donation, please visit our website, www.igopink.org.
Kathy Joe Daugherty, Heart of Dreams. You're listening to Lone Star Internet Radio. Lone Star in the mornings. It's 8:26. Welcome back. I'm over here interviewing John Long of Mirrocle Frames. Mirrocle Frames offers a simple, affordable, and beautiful solution to a builder for building grade mirrors for frames.
Right.
So,
Right.
And we're just there hanging out and listening to some music, and I wanted to get to know John a little bit more. Their shop is located on 1960 in Ella.
Right.
But you guys service pretty much...
We service all of Greater Houston. Obviously, we're doing a lot of work here in Montgomery County, but we do go as far south as League City and as far north as we've been to Huntsville before. So we, certainly here in the community, working here with the residents and having a lot of fun doing it. So
that's good. So that's a big spread.
It's a big spread. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a unique product.
Right.
And if you're just now tuning in, what Mirrocle Frames is, I encourage you to go to their website, mirrocleframes.com, or look them up on Google, and you'll find them pretty dang easy.
Yeah.
And what they do is an interesting process. Say you at home you have a current mirror that's already mounted, already there, and it doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right when you go to the restroom. And you want to make your bathroom a little bit nicer.
Right.
It's the cherry on top.
Right. Absolutely.
And this is what they do. They actually come out, measure, and they put a frame on the existing mirror, so you don't have to tear it, rip it. You don't have to change anything. They literally come in, evaluate, and then they leave, and then come back with it, install it within a couple hours.
That easy, absolutely. So, yeah, it makes a huge difference. Otherwise time-consuming, expensive process, like we were saying, in and out, and beautiful results and easy process. So
now I have to ask you, what was the most challenging one you've done? Because I'm looking at pictures, and you have some that are fairly simple, like a traditional bathroom.
Right.
But then you also have stuff that remind me of like at a stadium where it's just long, 15 feet long.
We might get some of our installers in here to answer that question.
Okay.
As to the jobs that I may have sold and they had to install, and they're cussing me as they're doing it. Those kind of deals. It's a lot easier to sell something sometimes than it is to install it. So
well, there's always every time in this type of work, I always wonder if there's a strange request.
Yeah.
Just I don't really know what kind of strange requests you could get with this kind of stuff, like.
Mirrors on the ceiling, had that a few times. Kidding.
Really? No, I think you're. No, that's serious. I think you're serious.
Yeah, I had a guy, older man actually, asked me if we did that, and I, obviously
you can't you? I mean, I think you can. I don't know.
Yeah, that's something we haven't tried yet, but anyway.
We have a challenge for Mirrocle Frames. If you're looking for somebody to frame your mirror on your ceiling.
No. But as far as the most challenging installation, typically, it comes to mirrors that are tight fit, that are they've got obstacles on all sides, and you've got to somehow fit a frame in there and make it look like it was built that way from the beginning. Those can be challenging, but the average job is fairly simple for us. We do them, day in, day out, and it's a simple process for us.
No, what about, have you been in a scenario where you actually have to cut the glass?
Yes.
Okay.
That is a service that we offer. Assuming the mirrors are not glued to the wall, a lot of times they are, and you typically know that because there's no clips. There's no plastic clips or no metal clips holding the mirror up. So if you see your mirror and it's glued, well, you'll know, like I said, you'll know it's glued if you don't see anything holding it up, obviously. I should go without saying, but a lot of people don't notice these little things. So,
I mean,
if the mirror's held up by clips, a lot of times people want the mirrors removed and cut down smaller, for example, or cut into two mirrors. That is a service we offer as well. And we don't advertise it a lot, but when people ask about it, we certainly do that as well. So,
because I know I've seen some bathrooms where they have like a minor backsplash,
right,
and then the mirror's on top of it, but then the mirror's also put in the corner,
right.
So it's literally flush with the wall.
Yeah.
So
flush mounted on the backsplash and up against the wall is very common actually, and a lot of people who aren't familiar with our process and can't quite comprehend what we do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is not going to work, is it?
Right. That's a really, really common, probably our most common frequently asked question is, my mirror sits on the backsplash, what can I do? Or it butts up against the wall, what can I do? And because our process works the way it does, it's unlike a traditional framing method where the frames go on the outside of the mirror. Our frames go on top of the mirror. So basically from the outside of the mirror in. So even if the mirror's,
you can fit it.
Yeah, so it just goes flush on top of the mirror. And, that's the key, because 99% of mirrors are sitting on the backsplash. And if we didn't do it like we did, we'd basically be doing, we'd be ripping out the mirror and remodeling. And that's
so
the
cool.
whole thing that we wanted to avoid when we had this idea and created this concept. So,
Well, I still want to know, there's got to be a secret. There's got to be something that...
Secret sauce. There is a secret, and if I told you, I'd have to kill you, kind of thing. So, no, we're still pretty much the only people in the greater Houston area that's doing this, and we've got an exclusive product that we have manufactured specifically for our company for this process. And so when you go look at traditional frames in your any of your local frame shops or a big national chain, whichever, they're always going to have what's called a groove or a rabbet in the back, and that's where your piece of art lies. Again, you'd have to cut your mirror down to insert it in there if you wanted to frame it. And so basically what we've created is a product, again, it's exclusive to Mirrocle Frames, that installs directly on top of an existing mirror without showing any kind of reveal or rabbet. And so, you can't get the product anywhere else in the world, for that matter. I was going to say in Houston or national, but in the world, it's exclusive. So,
Well, I'm looking at these pictures right now. You got a 3-frame.
Yeah, those are pretty challenging. So when you get in, you're talking about the more complicated installs, and 3 mirrors butting together is challenging, but it's not something that's not doable. We do them all the time, and they're pretty common, the bay mirror situation. And so I'll put it to you this way: if it is outside the scope of what we do, we always tell people up front. This is not the kind of deal where we're anxious to get someone's money and then leave them with a half-done job. We would rather tell somebody the truth up front if it's not going to work, but it's far and few between we can't do something with what people already have. And even if that is a situation, there's always an answer. Sometimes it might cost a little more, but we can always make something work with the
Especially
with
if it's on the ceiling.
Especially if it's on the
That's
ceiling.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No, that's really going to... I'm telling you, it's going to happen one day, and you're kind of like, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, exactly.
That is such a strange request.
Right.
I like it, though. So we already kind of went through the process. All you guys got to do, if you have questions and you want to know more about Mirrocle Frames, you can call them at 866-95-FRAME. That's 866-95-FRAME. Or visit them online at mirrocleframes.com, and you can email them through there. I believe their main email is team at Mirrocle Frames.
Yeah, TEAM at mirrocleframes.com. And again, Mirrocle Frames is MIRRORCLE frames.com.
Yeah, it's kind of a play on word.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mirrocleframes.com. Well, John Long, thank you so much for coming into the studio and telling me about this. This is really interesting.
Yeah.
And is there anything else you want to tell the audience before we sign off?
The process, again, if you're have been working with remodelers, contractors, we consider ourselves to be the anti-contractor. So if you think of ideas of people showing up late and in a beat up truck and 3 teeth, if those kind of images come to mind when you think of a contractor, we're the opposite of that. So we try to make your very refreshing home improvement experience. So,
and what's neat about it too, I was thinking, y'all are very flexible in the process of a homeowner.
Right.
So if you're building a home or you're currently like remodeling your home or after the fact,
sure,
you guys can come whenever. I mean,
all of it.
Y'all are probably the easiest thing to deal with when it comes.
We really are.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
We really are. People at the end of the process are like, wow, this is the best part of my remodel by far. So, yeah, and we like it that way.
That's good. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We got great music on Lone Star in the mornings. It is 50 degrees outside. There's a 20% of showers and thunderstorms before 1 p.m. today. It'll be partly sunny with a high near 65. And then tonight will be partly cloudy with a low near 48. So it's another beautiful day in Montgomery County. Music coming up. We got a little bit of Corey Morrow, Gurf, Morlex. But right now we're going to take a little commercial break. You're listening to Lone Star in the mornings.
Hey everyone, this is Tina, your host from Retro Saturdays. I wanted to invite you to visit the Lone Star Studios here in downtown Conroe, Texas. We're all volunteers here, and we need your help in serving the Montgomery County area. Radio media is a fun field to be in. Lone Star Internet Radio serves Montgomery County with news, current events, local programming, and of course, music. If you are interested in volunteering and sharing your talents in media, go to irlonestar.com and let us hear from you. Lone Star Internet Radio, serving Montgomery County from the heart of downtown Conroe.